Good morning, everyone. Dzień dobry. I can hear you can hear me, which is great. Forget about that me being head. Forget that. Think of me as a product owner. I spent last year and a half being a product owner, and this is the story. This is my story today. And I was listening to David, who is now gone, and I was thinking how much of I is in my story. And actually, there is none, because it's all about our team. It's all about how we get to know our users. And there is no I on this slide. So yeah, let's start. Before I tell you the story, I need to tell you a little bit where I am regarding product management. So I do believe there is this sweet spot when you combine business and tech and UX together. If we all work together, then we are able to create products that our customers love. However, in the real life, it's usually like that. UX is like this alien little thing. Do we have any UX people here? Do you think there is enough of you in the company? Yeah, this is what I thought. Sometimes you have like one UX person and then like hundreds of software developers, and it doesn't really work this way. I do believe that we do need to work together, and I also believe that user experience is everyone's responsibility. It's not the single UX person who should be responsible for that. It's not even a product owner. It's the whole team. It's all the developers. All of you, everyone is responsible for user experience. I need to tell you a little bit about where I work, so you have the context for my story. I do work for Ocado Technology. We have an office here in Kraków. However, I work in the UK. Do you know anything about Ocado? Oh, some of you do. That's great. We hire about like 700 software engineers, not enough UX people. We are in different countries, and it's really great place to work. We do value our people, and we do amazing things. And our main customer is the company called Ocado. So what they do, you know, when you order your shopping online, you want some food for dinner or whatever, and you order it online, and then we deliver it to you, to your doorstep. And you think it's a pretty simple model because you just see the website and then you see the driver that comes to your door. But actually, what happens behind that, it's really, really complex. So now you can see a little bit of our warehouse. This is your shopping when you order from the website. And this is just a small part of what's really, really happening. And this is also an old warehouse, which means the very new one is full of robots, and nobody is really picking your products. It's all done automatically. It's super smart. It's amazing. But our story starts here, in delivery part of things. So I was hired at Ocado as a product owner in delivery systems. So that means that everything that happens after leaving the warehouse to customer doors, this was my responsibility. All the software that people are using, it was developed by my teams. And it's actually really big responsibility, because if you think about this, our drivers are the only people that our customers can see. They can't see anyone else in the company. They order online, so they can only see the drivers. So when anything goes wrong on the way, our driver is responsible to explain to the customer. So we do need to make sure that our drivers are in the position to deliver great customer service. So yeah, our story starts here. When I was hired, my very first day, my boss said, you know, our software is quite old. Our drivers use this ancient device. It's Windows, and you know it doesn't work really well. So we decided to rewrite everything, start from scratch, and write an Android app that will work on any device. And that was the product vision I got. I thought it's great because it's going to work on any device. Pretty cool. So I went to meet my team, fully agile. This is only a few of them. Very agile, very nice people, very fun to work with. and I asked them the first question. My first question to them was, where are all the devices we are developing for? Because, you know, the app's supposed to work on any device, so where are they? You can see their desks are pretty clean as for developers. So they look at me weird, and we have laptops, we do unit tests, why do we need devices? So my next question to them was, have you spoken to a driver before? They looked at me really weird, so I knew what was going to happen next. Yeah, that was going to be a face of every driver that gets the new Android app that works on any device. So I really didn't want that to happen. So what we decided to do next was to get out of the building. Everyone had to leave the building, at least for a day. And we were thinking, how are our drivers? How is it to be a delivery driver? So, you know, they don't wear high heels, so I'm going to... they don't wear high heels. They wear this, and this is how their day looks like. They got a piece of paper, they got a device, and they got a van to go for a day. So this is exactly what we did. Everyone of us went for something that is called a buddy route. This is an experience that everyone at Ocado can do for the whole day. It doesn't matter who you are. You can go with a real driver to real customers, deliver real groceries for the whole day. So you do exactly what the driver would do. So that's excellent experience. And I went first just to see what's going on. So I went there a little bit earlier just to speak to more people, because, you know, you spend the whole day but just with one driver, so I thought that's not really enough to understand everything. So I came there earlier that day, and I was very lucky because everything was going wrong that day. The warehouse, this awesome warehouse you've seen, was late, about 3 hours. So I had 3 hours to kill with all these drivers who normally just come to work for 10 minutes and then go on road. They all were in one place. So I had like hundreds of people to talk to. So that was very good. So I started explaining the whole thing, that we are building brand new app, thinking they should be now happier, listening to me that we do something for them. And I even had some devices with me, these Android devices. So I showed the devices to them, and I thought they would start testing the experience or something. No, what they started doing was they tried to fit all the devices I had with me to their pockets in their uniforms. And I was like, what are you doing? You're supposed to check the software. No, they said, imagine, Anna, you're going to a customer, you deliver to an old lady on 3rd floor somewhere, there is no lift, so you deliver this 50 kilograms to this lady, and then you have this device, which is yet another kilogram to carry, and this is the kilogram you hate the most, because you know, it's already heavy, and you do it for the whole day. So, you know, if we could fit this device somewhere, or wear this, that would be, you know, helpful. So I had this to-do list with me, which originally had just one item on it. It said build an Android app. So I added one item, thinking maybe before we build the Android app, let's find a device that it's actually convenient for driver, because it's part of their experience. And then I thought, actually, I have great news for you, because the new Android app is going to work on any device, which means you can use your smartphone. And I said, you see this? This is what happens to this every day. And this is still working. I can pick it up, and it still works. And I can't afford having a device that doesn't work. Would you do this to your mobile phone? Would you? I started saying about all these cases you could have, and but it's on concrete floor. There's no way it's going to work. So they do need a proper device that will still work. So yet again, before we build this Android app, we actually need a proper device. The lesson from it is that our software is only part of the story. What you need to do is like to take the step back and think where the story fits in the big picture. So now, back to the office. I was thinking that was a great experience, but actually it's quite expensive. Because people have to leave the office for the whole day, and the driver is not that efficient anymore because he or she had to explain things to you. So there must be a better way to do user research. So we started inviting our users to our office. And we did a lot of workshops, and there are two that I would like to tell you about. This is Sean. Sean is with the company about like 10 years, and these are two of our devs. They were pretty confident they know everything after this bad route. So I said, why don't you explain to Sean what his job is? So Sean, please pretend that it's your first day here, you don't know nothing, and devs, please explain what Sean's supposed to do. And that was so interesting. Within like a minute, we were corrected. It's not really how it works. We don't do things this way. So, even after spending the whole day with the drivers, all of us, we still weren't really getting it. Another workshop we had was with Lois. You can't really see her, but she's like in the middle there. So here we were trying to find or design a great dashboard for managers. And we started here from bad ideas. And why? Because if you ask people for great ideas, some of them might think of something good, but then they think maybe it's not good enough, so they don't say anything. But if you ask them about bad ideas, they deliver instantly. Everyone had bad experience before. They print bad dashboards, so it's really good way to start a conversation. So then all you need to do is to reverse this bad ideas to good ideas. And if you see on this picture, the good ideas, they are obvious, right? The dashboard should be simple or well organized, but actually these good ideas now have this deep meaning that they wouldn't have before. So yeah, all these workshops showed us that what we thought the user wanted wasn't really what they needed. And actually, even for the users, it was a surprise. Sometimes they were leaving the workshop thinking, actually, that might work better. I thought I needed something else. So yeah, the lesson here is that we are not on the same page with our users, and we will never be, and that's okay. That's okay because we have different skills. That's why we have different jobs, and that's fine. Just let's try to minimize this gap. Then I was thinking, okay, it's still expensive because you need to spend a few hours, you need to have everyone in the room, you need to plan in advance. It's still expensive way of research. There must be a better way. And at this point, I was sitting at my desk, and there was a delivery driver passing my desk because we get free food in our kitchen from our own drivers. He was passing my desk, asking where the kitchen was, and then I thought, actually, every single day there is a driver asking me where the kitchen is. So, I know we need a sign where the kitchen is, but also, if they ask me a question, I could go to there and ask them some questions. But you can't really keep them for long because they have tight schedule, they have to leave on time, go to another customer. But I thought, what if I just asked a quick question, just one quick question? And what if I keep asking the same quick question to every driver I meet? Which means every week I get like 10 or 20 answers to the same question. It's maybe not a big sample, but it is something, and it's for free. users come to my desk anyway. One of my first questions was, could you rate the experience on this device? And I was really surprised here because what people were saying, that it was either very bad or very good, it didn't make sense. It didn't make sense because everyone is using the same device, everyone is using the same software, everyone has to follow the same process. How can this be so different? But I checked after a while. I checked when these people started working for us. And here was the discovery. People who just joined recently, it was way too complex for them. They just didn't get it. It doesn't have to be that complex. They were lost in this experience. But people who work for us for ages, for 10 years or 5 years or whatever, they were like, that's fine, I know how to get there. So at this point, we started, well, after this lesson, where we learned that there is no such thing as a user. We have 5,000 people using this software, even though they're supposed to use it the same way. They are different people. They have different needs and different problems. So just after that, we started using user personas. So we initially had 2 segments. We had this look fast, who is youngish guy, he's quite techy, and all he really wants to do to be efficient enough, do his job, go home. But we also have quite a big group of Roberts. Robert Happy does understand that it's all about customers. He knows that without happy customers, he wouldn't have this job. So it's really important to give a good customer service to people. And this was really, this is still it is working very well for us. But then we thought, actually, if the new guys have so many problems with the device, so maybe we should understand them more. So at Ocado, all drivers go through 5 weeks of training, and some of the days they spend in classroom. They are being taught about how to use the software and all the theory, all the rules. So we started attending these classroom trainings. And at one of them, we actually met Luke and Robert, like real people, who were matching the descriptions of our user personas so much. It was weird. And then we discovered that we are missing a segment. We lost Albert Lost. Albert Lost is the guy who cost the company the most because he goes through all the training, 5 weeks training, but he never was a delivery driver before, so for him, everything is super complex. So actually, after these 5 weeks, he goes on road himself to deliver to customers, and he's like, too complex, I'm leaving. And you know, they do cost the company, so just after introducing this Albert Loss to the rest of the company, people started coming to us with ideas, and we are now testing some ideas to help these guys, and hopefully they'll stop leaving. So far, it looks really, really promising. I can tell you more about this later, but it was good to discover that we do have Alberts as well. Lesson from it: every day is a school day. What I actually mean here is that you can't just stop your user research. It's an ongoing process. You have to continue doing this because you might be really surprised one day, like we were. Remember the question of the week that I was asking to people? It didn't really matter what question I asked. They were always telling me a little bit more. And somehow they all were telling me about the problem of crashing devices, but I mean not physically crashing, but the software was crashing. So they were getting blue screens and stuff, and everyone was somehow mentioning this. And I thought, if everyone is telling me about this, that there might be a problem. So I spoke to Gary, and he said he had really bad experience. So I went to look at the database. And this is how his day is supposed to look like. So he's supposed to start at 7 o'clock, finish at 3 o'clock. The dots here are the customers he's supposed to visit. So that's quite a lot of customers, right? So if you are late to one customer, that means that you might be late to everyone else as well. And yes, he was late. You see the bars going up? This is how late he was to all of these customers. Even though he started early, he was late to everyone else. And then I thought, okay, let's see how his device was performing. This is how many times he had to restart his device. Can you imagine restarting your laptop so many times a day? That would be painful. So, but we didn't know about this. Nobody told us directly, oh, we have a problem with that. It's only because we were asking completely different questions we discovered this. So a lesson from it, some problems are invisible. You just need to, you can't look for them because you don't even know they exist. So just keep asking questions. Talking about the data, I thought it's quite tricky to learn from people who always have to follow the same process. They don't have a choice like customers on the website who can decide, I'm not buying this, I'm buying this, right? Our drivers have to do exactly what we tell them. So there's not much we can learn. However, they have exactly one text box, free text box on this device where they can add some comments. And it's supposed to be about customers, how to get to them, or something helpful, so the next driver who is going there it can help him or her. So I thought, let's read the comments, but there are thousands of them. Some of them are really funny, but I thought I can't read every single one. So I did this word cloud. And I expected words like door or house being big. But how about these things? U12D, UNOK, U12 door. What are these? It's like a secret code. So I went to the drivers and asked, and they said, no, this device is called U1. So we all say that U1 took me to door. The sat-nav was all right. You can trust the sat-nav direction for this customer. So we just write U1 to D or U1 OK. Everyone has a different code. So then I thought, actually, if this is such a standard information, why do we let people write essays about this? Some people were really descriptive. So I had these ideas. How about if they can just vote? Sat-nav was 2 stars, parking was 1 star, and maybe the customer really liked early delivery. I thought this is going to be amazing, just one tap instead of all this typing. The keyboard there is really small, so it takes some effort to write something. I came to drivers asking what the opinion was. it was their opinion. They said, you know what, it's pointless, this parking thing. You go to a customer in the morning and the parking is free because everyone went to work. But you come back in the evening and it's fully packed, everyone is back. So how do you vote? What do you see there? 1.5, that just doesn't make sense. Or this early delivery. We offer exactly 1 hour slot to our customers. So what message are we sending to our drivers? That they can deliver anytime they want? No, we should be on time. We promised customers 1 hour slot. We should do everything to be on time. So, that looks nice, but pointless. But that's fine, because we wouldn't have this conversation if we didn't look at the data from a different perspective. So the lesson here is that take the data, all the data you have, and look at the data from different angles. Sometimes you can see things that you wouldn't see otherwise. And there are great tools to help you here. There are tableaus, there are word clouds, really, really good tools. So just try. It's really, really helpful. So remember our product vision from my first day at the company? I was told we are building an Android app for any device. Today the vision is a little bit different. We want something that's smart and simple to use. It doesn't really matter if it's Android app or not. We want a good device, convenient to wear, and we want to help the drivers, because software is only part of their story, part of their day. Today, this is the team today. They're happy to leave the office, get out of the building anytime. As you can see, most of them are smiling. You can see, you can see our fantastic stakeholders who are always happy to help us and tell us everything. That's the developer's desk with 6 devices. And I swear it wasn't staged. It's really how they work now. That thing. So we tried to fit the content of the van to the office, but unfortunately didn't fit the door. So we thought, what else can we do? And we had this idea of having life-size posters. So this is only part of it, but it's life-size. So you can see exactly what the driver would see in the van, in the back of the van. There are real barcodes there, so you can use the device, the app you are writing, and you can scan all the codes there, like the driver would do. So that's really helpful. This is now how they train the new people using these posters. And that's Mark and Ian, our stakeholders. Mark is director of service delivery, and he's taking everyone to a posh restaurant. We spent 3 hours there for lunch. Mark was paying, just to say thank you and say how awesome we are, how much we listen to the users, and it does really work. So after this lunch, I asked Mark, could you describe how our relationship changed? How does it work for you, working with our team? And he sent me a long email, beautiful email. I can't quote everything here because it wouldn't fit on slides, but I have one quote from him. The difference between a good team and an outstanding team is how they understand the user requirements. And that's really, really important. There's no I here. There's no us and them. It's just us. We do need to work together. Thank you. Do you have any questions by any chance?
Anya, thank you a lot. That was amazing. Okay, I don't have the soapy things with me now, but I'm gonna get them. Questions? Okay.
Hello, Ursula.
Hello.
Thank you for your presentation. I would like to ask if this research was the initial plan for this project, or it involved in the time, and how you convinced that it's worthy, it's good to spend money on that, because it seems like it delay 1 year your project, and how you convince anybody that it's worthy.
So when I joined, I was really shocked that nobody even spoke to drivers, that all the IT people were avoiding drivers. They were like hiding. Oh, driver is coming, let's hide. This was the situation. I was really shocked. And I said to my boss, it's really not right. And he was like, he's not even a product person, he's a very technical person, so he didn't see anything wrong with that. So to be fair, I didn't ask for permission. I just said, we do need to do it. I'm a product owner, I know what's best for the product, we do need to do it, we have to. And we just did. But it wasn't planned, so the funny thing is I didn't have all these ideas up front. It was like we did one thing, and then it was, actually, we could do this as well. And then after this, we could do this. And you know, it was growing organically.
Anyone else? Can we wait for the person? And you're going to be the next one, okay? Sorry.
Just a quick question. I'm in UX, so from my perspective, the whole story that you explained about talking to drivers and the whole experience why did you do it? Why didn't UX do it? And if you did it, how did you explain to your UX what to do?
Simply because we didn't have UX people.
Thank you.
We are hiring, by the way. We have more of them, but in the UK, it's different in Poland, but in the Polish office, but in the UK, we have like 3 people for a few hundreds of software developers. I would never get a chance to speak to them.
Hey. So my question is, thank you for the presentation, awesome experience, and yeah, like really enjoying. And my question is, do you agree with Steve Jobs that we shouldn't follow users' requirements because actually users don't know what they want, so we have to look ahead. So would you try some on-site experience, like driving together with the people who use the software and just see what actually they need, but they don't know yet about it? So they actually don't know what do they want. So would you try like to experience looking beyond?
Yeah, so we do realize the users don't always know what they want. They know that as well, not all of them. But it's all about like changing the perspective. So that's why the reversing the roles helped as well, because we told them how we see their job, and they had to understand some issues that we have. So it requires a lot of trying. There's no recipe saying this will always work if we do this, you know. But just try to shift your perspective, I think. Did it answer your question?
Yeah, thanks. And you look really enthusiastic, so I really enjoyed the presentation. Thanks a lot.
Actually, we even started going to council meetings. They have it like every 6 weeks or so, and there are all these angry drivers or people who represent other angry drivers. They come to this meeting. It's really tense normally. They're like, nothing's happening, this doesn't work. But once we started talking to them and saying, you know, we do work, we listen to you, and so on, they completely changed the perspective. And actually, when we went there for the first time, after our presentation, they started clapping, all of them, cheering and saying, you know, finally someone listens to us. And it was amazing. Like, really great enthusiasm help. This is my point.
Anyone else?
I guess everyone wants a cup of coffee now.
Yeah, we can afford one more question. Okay, I think that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you a lot.